We've got a lot to do in the reptile room today, like I always say. This is the big boy Eckhart.
What's up, guys? How are you guys?
Ohana Exotics, his channel's linked below, but he's coming to help me take out a bunch of snakes, clean them. We've been sexing some snakes, changing up the lighting because the light's blue, which is super frustrating in this enclosure too, and we've got to switch them up because plants will die otherwise, and that's no good. So yeah, and he's also filming a room tour, which I've never done in this facility, so go check it out.
Check it out!
We're going to take out some snakes now.
Show them the mushrooms.
So Eckhart's wanting to show
guys,
you.
to me that's really interesting, right? So you guys see the mushrooms in here? So as a lot of you guys, if you guys don't know, I specialize in verves, right? So this is a really interesting thing. Like when there's a good bacterial bloom inside of your enclosures, you get fungi that comes out, and fungi is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because that fungus is going to come out, it's going to die, and it's going to be new nutrients to the soil. So interesting, pro-quo, boring, I know, but yeah, science.
I'm just out here busy teaching Eckhart how to wire stuff because I'm an electrician and he's not, you know. But let's see if it works. You're not touching anything. Okay, Google, switch on wall 2. Yeah, it works. See, lights on. How nice is that?
Turn on wall 2 lights.
These lights kind of blue because I think the humidity spiked, and yeah, that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So the next step is to get rid of all these enclosures. If any of you guys are interested in them, let me know. Just jokes. I'm wanting to replace them with my new design of enclosures. It'll be way better airflow, and then I won't have these issues with the grow lights. What? Why are you using my snake hook as a back scratch?
I don't know, my back's itching.
You're gonna wash that afterwards.
It's not in my shirt.
Yeah, but still, gross, man.
I'm like a hairy gorilla. I need to like, you see? Like how do I get there? But now, you see. It works. Any case.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Eckhart came over, we had a great time, and we just taught each other a bunch of stuff and learned from each other. So that's a really important thing that we got to do within the reptile hobby. That is, teach each other stuff, learn from each other, so you can constantly gain more knowledge, because you don't ever want to become like stagnant and think you know it all and whatever. You got to learn from each other and grow together and get more information, because that's what it's about. Are you helping me move snakes today? Well, it's time to pair up the ball pythons now. Super exciting to pair these guys up. I decided not to breed them last year, you know, just to give them a break. Here's the male over here. I love this plant over here. Okay, so this is my yellow belly ball python. I have named him Yellow Belly, in fact, and I'm going to add him to Stripes enclosure. Sorry, my little guy. He's a beautiful, beautiful boy. Really, really love him. And now we're just gonna plop him in like that because he's not very active at the moment. And maybe later on tonight we'll see a lock. So one thing you do have to make sure is that they don't eat each other. Yes, I've had ball pythons try and eat each other, so that's not a good thing. Generally, if that happens, you can try add the female to the male's enclosure, because it's a new environment and females are generally bigger and they're the ones that want to eat the males. Males are just in breeding mode, so if you add the female to the male's enclosure, then it should be better. But I know these two will go really well together, so hopefully we see some locks this evening. Yo, what's going on? So today we're going to be taking photos of my animals because I kind of want to update their portfolio and just have nice little prints of each of my individual animals. So I'll be taking you through step by step what I do to photograph my animals in a nice little set. So first off, we got to get a black background. So basically what I've done is I've clipped on a black piece of fabric to this side of the cage and that enclosure over there. So now I have a perfect black background that I can get some nice decent shots of the animals. I'm going to switch off this light behind here because I don't want any backlight. So essentially the main thing you want to do is try and get as much light as possible on your set. I don't know where I put the other adapter for my other film light, so I'm just using one at the moment, and then got this different LED light which is a different color temperature. We don't need to get into anything about color temperatures, but let's just take some great shots of these incredible animals. Sadly I won't film that because that's on this camera. This is my only camera I have, so I'm going to take photos on this. But that's the little setup behind us. I am going to now put glass on top of this black mat to try and get nice reflections as I put some of the snakes on top of that. I think it'll be quite interesting. And the second thing is not to get bit and not to get complacent, and don't get your hands too close to the snake. Now it's just trial and error to try get the best photos I can possibly get of this animal. How I'm gonna do that is by getting low. I don't want to take overhead shots of the animal. I want to get low to its eye level, get creative, get nice up and close without getting your fingers bitten. So you see all that white stuff around my little cobra over here? That's a lot of musk and poop. It's a defense mechanism to say, hey, I'm gross, I'm disgusting, leave me alone and don't eat me. I can luckily put her away now, stop harassing her, because I've got some decent photos, and I should post those online on Instagram, so follow me over here. I think I successfully took a couple photos of a few of the animals. I would like to do a lot more now, but it does take quite a bit of time. It's time consuming, but it's totally worth it, because look at these amazing shots that I got. I mean, I've not even seen them, but I'm showing them to you now, which is quite crazy. You know, I just fixed that light. Well, that one blew, and guess what else blew? That one. And I just fixed that one, and I just fixed that one. Now they're all blowing at once, and I gotta fix that one down there. Now I also gotta fix that one and that one. Like, why everything happening all at once? All these lights are just like frustrating me. But if you want to help out, I've got a Patreon link down below, and you can get access to behind the scenes content and get to see some of the new snakes I've got like months before anybody else does. Pretty cool, right? So strangely enough, it seems like all my snakes are on a schedule of shedding together. So Octavia's just shed, and she just yawned just before we clicked record, which was pretty cute. She like yawned and was like, Bryce, it's time to clean my enclosure, because I pooped and shed at the same time. Murphy in the other room, same thing happened with him. So let's take out some snakes, and we are going to need a hook stick, a bucket to put the snakes in. That's step one. Get everything ready, put the bucket down, get the lid to the side in an easy and accessible way, so when you take out the snake you don't have to like, oh, where's the lid, having snakes shoot out at you and all that sort of thing. Although it's not that necessary with something this size. I mean, she's not a mamba, they don't shoot out as quickly. And then you don't want to be opening an enclosure like this onto yourself. You kind of want to go from one of the sides, because the camera's that side, I'll go this side and open with my hook like that. Now we can take Octavia out looking nice and pretty. The one thing about having naturalistic looking enclosures with real dirt is it does make their skin dirty, and yeah, that's why she looks particularly spectacular now that she has, like, seriously now that she's shed. Backing up on me, quite nice. Where are you going? Whoa! Let's just put you away. Look at that. So she's even trying to bite me because she's not so happy, but we can put her inside here, and then let her get angry inside the bucket. This is more like a trash can. Now that the adrenaline's rushing through your bloods and coursing through your body, what am I talking about? Here, I'm just talking a bunch of nonsense. I'm just got a bit hot, so take my jacket off. And now to find the poop, the shed, the itty bitty little thingies from my snake. I gotta find my dustbin first, because we don't want to just be throwing stuff on the floor like that, because then I have to clean the floor more regularly. I was supposed to switch on this light here so you can see the snakes when I'm handling them on the floor. So why did I name this snouted cobra over here Octavia? Well, if you've watched the series called The 100, you'll know why. Octavia is like a really sassy character, and this snake is literally just perfect, just like Octavia. You're gonna watch my brother poop himself now when she jumps forward. And he's got nowhere to go back there. But it's okay, I'll keep him safe. Let's put Octavia back. Yeah. Ah, that's just lovely. Nice curry smelling poop. You see, that was like a double whammy. Spray poop and strike at you at the same time. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty cool, right? Yeah, but it's not always safe, obviously, because it's a cobra. Now for another feisty snake. She does not have a name. However, she probably should have been named Octavia because she's even more feisty than this girl now. But I want to switch out the hook. I don't like using long hook sticks, especially with shorter snakes. But that does mean I have to be a lot quicker. Which snakes are you most afraid of when you're busy filming me, Jotham?
All of them.
You're afraid of all of them. My brother's done a really good job filming. Comment, we love Jotham down in the comments below because I'm really grateful for him filming for me, and I'm sure you guys are grateful because he gets some good content for us.
And spell my name correctly.
Jotham is how you spell it. Say, we love Jotham! Like Gotham City with a J. And my brother's like, move her away from me now, Bryce. So obviously you got to know each snake and each species individually because they all react a little bit differently. Like I wouldn't be able to get away with this, what I'm doing now with certain species, but because it's a cobra, it likes to hood up, make itself very big and defensive, and just watching my every movement. If I come too close to its personal boundary, then it will strike at me. So I would say the space that is safe to stick away from the snake is in that little half circle now. So if you go a little bit closer, there she will strike at you. And you want to know that for each particular species that you work with. Like if I wiggle my foot here, she focuses on that. Right now she's moving on my knee. I don't want to upset her too much, but it does make her easier to work with when she's focusing on me and not trying to get away, because that's a little bit scary when the snake's faster than you and you want to keep it from getting away and it just tries to like escape from you. Like, why? As you can see, I'm not flinching or like jumping back because I expect it and I know I'm totally out of her strike range, so it's nothing to be frightened by. Obviously never do what I do, please. Now let's say goodbye to Africa's most toxic cobra, the cave cobra. This is a feisty little girl. She's a lot more grumpy than my male is. My male's such a sweetheart. This girl on the other hand she's the opposite of a sweetheart.